What if I tell you, I believe it's not just literature that inspired this puzzle's image. I also recognized song lyrics and more specifically one song. So initially I wanted this video to focus on the 16 hidden rabbits, but as I assembled this puzzle, I recognized things that reminded me so much to a specific song's lyrics, and I just want to touch on that for a little bit, and then I will eventually get to the hidden rabbits. And just for your information, I didn't get them all. So the artist behind this beautiful image is Steve Reed, and for the purposes of today's video, I am not going to tell you anything about Mr. Reed. I've got another puzzle added recently to my collection by him, which I will use to focus on Steve Reed as a puzzle artist. So for today, we are only going to focus on the image. So according to the pamphlet that is included in the box, which is a rare sight, it reads as follows. Welcome to the magical land, home to strange creatures and characters, some inspired by famous publications. We love the catfish, cat with fins, the kingfisher, a bird who uses a fishing line to find its prey, and there's one who reminds us of Ratty from Kenneth Graham's Wind in the Willows. Is this Lewis Carroll's White Rabbit rowing the boat? Who is the beautiful passenger? There are some clues to her possible identity in the image. Aside from these wonderful characters, can you spot the 16 rabbits hidden within this scene? So I don't know too much about Alice in Wonderland or any of the other referrals, so I can't confirm the passenger's identity. I can only assume it is Alice from Alice in Wonderland because of the white rabbit, which is the only one that I really do recognize as from Alice in Wonderland. The others, not so much, although very beautiful. So, what I picked up on is song lyrics from a very specific song by the Beatles. It's called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And I will tell you why, and you can tell me if I'm reaching here or if I'm just crazy. The song's lyrics start with picture yourself in a boat on a river. So we've got the boat and we've got the river. And by the way, the boat's name is Lucy. So I'm not sure if that refers to the passenger, but that would mean that's not Alice in Wonderland. But okay, back to the lyrics. We've got a boat named Lucy in the river. So that fits. The second line goes, with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. So initially I thought this couldn't possibly be a tangerine tree. Tangerines are small oranges, it's a fruit, it's very bright, and I didn't recognize it at first as a tangerine tree. But if you look very close, there is this little fruit on here. It could be a very muted orange. So I am going on a limb and say, yes, that could possibly be a tangerine tree. If I look up marmalade skies in Google, it gives me all this beautiful orange yellow sunsets. So that would definitely classify as a marmalade sky. So if I go a bit further after the first chorus, there is another line that starts with follow her down to a bridge by a fountain. So we've got the bridge, and just to the right of that is definitely a water fountain there. So that fits for me. Then skip one line, and then you go to the next one, which says, everyone smiles as you drift past the flowers that grow so incredibly high. Now, that purple flowers there in the left hand corner at the top, definitely high compared to the other items on this puzzle. So tell me, do you think there's method in my madness if I say this could possibly be inspired by the song by the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Mr. Reed, if you ever by any chance watch this video, please confirm if you at least thought of that song once at any time during creating this absolute beautiful image. For me, as much as the fantasy literature inspired this image, I can see it. I do believe that song is also visible in this image. So let me know what you think. Am I crazy? So this next part will contain spoilers. So if you still plan on doing this puzzle and don't want to know where the hidden rabbits are, you can forward to the end of this video. For those of you that want to know where they are or don't mind knowing where they are, I will show you the ones that I got without help of the pamphlet, which isn't much. So the first one that I found, and I actually saw this one from the box, is this rabbit here. So there's a ear and the eye and the nose, a little face here, body. So that was the first one I saw. The second one I saw is this one over here. And I actually stood up and stared at the puzzle, and then that one just jumped right out at me. The next one I saw, and that's the last one, is this cute little guy here in the dress. Ears, there's the two eyes and the nose. And from here on out, I had to look at the pamphlet to get an idea of where they are, and still I wasn't able to locate all of them. So if we look at the pamphlet, let's start here. That one is supposed to be here. So there's the eye and there's the whiskers. So I can't really say where the ears are. This looks like the nose. So that is supposed to be one of them. Then in this branch is supposed to be one. On the pamphlet, yeah, through the camera, I can see it. Over here, I don't see it. It could be here somewhere. To me, it just looks like a brown blob. That is the one that I already showed you. Right here. And again, it's very, very dark over here. I don't see a rabbit. Unless it's up, right up here. But I can't distinguish a face from there. The next one will be in here, which is in this knob. And again, I struggle to clearly see a rabbit. This could be an eye, that could be an eye. I don't know if both of those are eyes. Unless it's upside down. This is an eye, that's a nose. Is this the ears? It could be an upside down rabbit. I don't know. Next one. And now that I see it on the poster, I can actually distinguish that this is a rabbit. It's not as clear on the puzzle, but there it is, the nose, the eye. Then over here, and again on the poster it's much more distinguishable, but there it is, the body, the head, the ears, there's the eye and the nose. There's a little rabbit there. And then these two I already showed you. Yeah, between the two, next to the horse's legs, they very, very faint. When with a little bit of imagination, I can see a rabbit. That looks like the ear and the eye on that side. And then this one should have actually been obvious to spot, but I missed it. This tree is in the shape of a rabbit. Then if I go to this side, this one again on the poster, very clear and distinguishable. But on the puzzle, I can see the eye, I can see the ears. Not as clear, and I think the cut lines of the puzzle pieces makes it a bit more difficult to distinguish. This one I can't see. Not on the poster, not on the puzzle. Somewhere in here there is supposed to be a rabbit. I don't get it. I don't see it. That one is quite confusing. This one is supposed to be in this corner. I don't see a rabbit. That looks like an eye. Unless this little rounding here is the face. That is a ear. And this whole part here is the body. Maybe, could be. Other than that, I don't see it. This one I did see after I looked at the poster, it is this one here. There's the body, there's the face, the nose, the eye, and the ears. But that one I saw. And for this one, I needed a little bit more imagination, but that will be this one over here. And it is definitely recognizable as a rabbit. Very dark, but still. I just have to accept I am terrible at finding hidden objects in puzzles. I clearly need to play more of that hidden object games and train my eyes and try again in a future puzzle. Without the help of the pamphlet, I only got of the hidden rabbits, and that's a terrible score for me. But regardless of that, I did enjoy the image. The puzzle was lovely. I loved the image. It was beautiful. It was definitely not the most difficult puzzle I've ever done. And Steve Reed, definitely a name to remember. I will do a full artist review in another video with another puzzle that I've got by him. But that is it. Please let me know what you thought of this theories of mine. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.